Coming up next, Frodan's featured match. I promise we'll be more engaged. Coming up next, we have Frodan's featured match. It's Nalguidan versus Gallon. Take a look at this clip that Gallon had for us yesterday.
I'm calling you out, Nalguidan. I think your attitude to losing is really bad. You say a lot of stuff like, oh man, I got unlucky, my Dr. Boom was bottom 10 or whatever, and you don't look at where you messed up. You only look at variance that like may have caused, some slight unluckiness, but there's always rooms in games like that to play better, and you should be looking at that to improve rather than just saying, oh, my opponents got lucky. And it happens without fail every single time he loses. There's a tweet about it where he says, I got so unlucky, and it's just, I feel like it's a little bit blind to how to improve at the game. So shots fired. I'm coming for you tomorrow. Don't say you got unlucky when I beat you.
All right. Don't say you got unlucky when I beat you. Let's go, Gallon. That's what we want to hear. I want to hear those. Oh, I'm so sad. I might get relegated. Yeah, of course it's very sad, but I want people
drama
taking out specific targets. I see that homing missile coming in from Virginia, I think he is, all the way to Argentina. I want some nuclear warfare, metaphorically speaking, within Hearthstone Grandmasters.
Yeah.
And I think,
me too.
And I think Nalguidan, he actually even responded to Gallon with a series of social media posts on Twitter. First of all, it's a friendly rivalry. Nalguidan says, American GMs right now playing the third match proof either that I'm good or that I'm unlucky, Kappa. I think that's a really funny, tongue-in-cheek way to acknowledge
it's a good take on the situation, right? Because Gallon called him out and said, your attitude's in the wrong place. Your record's good. Your play doesn't reflect it. And when you do have bad beats or when you do misplay, you're blaming it instead on your draws, which, for the most part, I kind of agreed with what Gallon was saying. I think that attitude is unhealthy, and I think that Nalguidan had a string of tweets yesterday basically saying, like, it's hard for people outside of the players' minds or the players' personal lives to get a glimpse into what they have to go through, with the other responsibilities they have in their life, what their practice looks like, how much time and effort they do put in. And Nalguidan feels like he might be a little bit unfairly represented, that he does put in a lot of time and he does put in a lot of practice, but he
does
aren't
also
reflected.
complain a lot.
Yes, and at the very end of that string of tweets, most of which I agreed with, he then doubled down on the Dr. Boom line, which I was like, no, it was all good up until that point. Don't double down. Say your piece.
It was the longest preface before he said, but I was.
But I was really unlucky. He said, don't judge me. There's a lot of things going on. I practice hard. Sometimes it's not reflected.
Yeah, walk a mile in the other person's shoes before you judge them.
But I was really unlucky.
That being said, Dr. Boom was in the bottom 5 card.
How do you come back from that? Let's get into it. Gallon, Priest game 1. Nalguidan, I'd call it a read here. Says, I'm going to queue Warrior. I'm going to take a slight risk here and say, I'm going to get this Priest.
He protected Warrior, banned Druid. That's a very common strategy. You protect and you ban whatever is the worst matchup against your deck that you protect. He protected, or Gallon rather, protected Priest and banned Priest. Quickly. Because his worst matchup after the Warrior is the Priest, according to Gallon. Nalguidan has a Spellbreaker. He's got the Restless Mummy. I'm looking at the way things are panning out. And with that Wild Pyromancer draw, I think that was a really important pickup here for Gallon, but he doesn't have another way to get the damage down for the Circle of Healing. Because what ends up happening is that Priest runs out of cards and then Warrior just removes stuff. Nalguidan with the Spellbreaker, though, shut down the early Cleric is massive.
Yep. Maybe you're supposed to hold on to the Power Shield in that instance.
He didn't have Pyromancer in hand, though. His hand was Power Shield, Nephicent Ritualist, and Circle of Healing.
Yeah, the Wild Pyromancer came off Power Shield.
Yes.
But maybe the argument's still there. Is it necessary to bring this Northshire Cleric up to 7 health?
Probably not. Maybe you just Beaming Psychic and that's it.
Yeah. It's mana efficient, but, I don't blame Gallon for making this play. I think, you know, he played his mana, he drew a card, his hand wasn't good, he needed to make it better, so he wanted to draw a card with Power Word Shield. That's the reason behind it.
Agreed.
But it's our job, Dan, as commentators of this beautiful game, to be 100% results oriented and blame the players for things that are out of their control.
Gallon, how could you? Nalguidan can take out both minions, the Wild Pyromancer and the 1/2.
Followed up with a Spellbreaker.
Important draw here for Gallon. Finally able to get some tempo and also draw a card.
This Injured Blade Master is going to have to go a long way.
In the light's name.
Another Light Warden makes the Militia Commander have a target, but now Nalguidan can use the Spellbreaker here instead. I think part of him is worried about giving the Cleric value of card draw. That was the big reason why he Restless Mummy traded and did not allow the Cleric to have an easy target. Clerics only work with minions, so by not playing any minions that could get damage or will get damage on either side is important. A lot of times I've seen players, still to this day, TJ, when I climb the legend and I play the Cleric, sometimes they totem or they that Paladin hero power. But the totem one hurts the most because they think, oh, you can't draw a card, but you attack their totem, the 0/2 totem, and you heal it. Yeah, it's any minion.
Gives you a little bit more gas against Doomsayer too. In a world where an Earthshark Cleric would otherwise just die, you attack the Doomsayer, heal, at least get one card out of it before it meets its fiery doom.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Neverset Ritualist. Opportunity for Gallon to trade and heal and push damage.
Yep.
He is very safe against the Dynamatic.
Yep.
But he's not that resilient against the Brawl. And
No.
the Brawl will feel like it gets to the critical ranges where Gallon would have to get Bansamdi or bust.
I do think that to an extent, when you're playing Priest against Warrior, you have to kind of disrespect their removal a little bit. You have to just hope they don't have it in a lot of circumstances. Because if you hold back, it just gives them more time to find those things, and it isolates your minions on board for things like Dynamatic or Restless Mummy. So you play around stuff within reason.
Yep, and Gallon does have a couple targets that are good to survive.
Like the Injured Blade Master.
I mean, Lightborn was also scary. Oh. Oh.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Now, how much do you go in?
Job's done.
All the way
yeah.
in.
4 arms.
All the way in.
Shield Slam. Ah! Just out of range! Well, he doesn't even have mana to do it anyway. Double Shield Slam. Double Shield Block, Shield Slam.
You've seen an Neverset Ritualist, and you have a Plague of Wrath in hand. Which means there's merit to damaging this, because you don't want to get blown out of the game by Inner Fire as well.
Sure.
Like a health buff plus Inner Fire, you can consider that. Maybe not Neverset Ritualist as much, but it looks like no matter what the situation is, Gallon is an Inner Fire away from lethal.
Yeah, or Topsy-Turvy.
Or a Topsy-Turvy.
2 out of 19. The way Priests have been drawing feels like inevitability. Injured Tolvir comes into the hand. That's big.
But now the question is, trade and Neverset Ritualist or push face damage?
Push face damage. Push face damage. The way that you could get punished, though, is Zilliax.
Looks like it's push face damage.
It is. The push face damage is actually fairly important, too, because it stops Nalguidan from being able to Shield Slam and then play Plague of Wrath. Another thing to consider, too, is by pushing face damage, yes, your opponent might be able to find some way to remove it, but unless they specifically have Warpath and Plague of Wrath, which, by the way, would kill his own opponent's minion, too.
Yeah.
He still has minions left over for the Divine Spirit Inner Fire to follow up. He's putting his opponent down to 6 life, or 8 life, rather.
Yep. Like the play.
And Divine Spirit Interfire should be enough. Now, Nalguidan still has more counterplay. He has the shield block, shield slams. In fact, I'd argue that Nalguidan might want to use both shield slams right now.
That's a full clear, actually. Shield slam, armor up, double shield slam clears everything but the 2/3 ritualist. That is a very good turn for Nalguidan.
Yeah, and Gallon's kind of escaped through a lot of removal outside that brawl. And remember that Ninja Blade Master surviving was a huge moment. Now he's stuck on the Blansamdi plan. Psycho Pop!
Oh,
The end begins.
Ninja Blade Master.
That is tough. Nalguidan's not out of it, but it's looking very tough so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Warpath draw away from essentially closing out this game, and he's got a lot to fight back with.
So Snip Snap and Ziliax. Something that I first look at right here.
Snip Snap and Ziliax.
What now?
Another alternative, if you're feeling frisky, is to save that. Instead, play Snip Snap and Militia Commander, and then place Ziliax on the following turn. Actually, no, hold on. Back up.
Back up. Okay.
We want to be able to use Plague of Wrath for the final hit, right?
What
Yes.
now?
So if you play Snip Snap this turn, there's a high chance that you'll be able to get the 1/1 to attack in and then use Plague of Wrath.
So Snip Snap is 100%.
Yes, it's all about we want to play with it. So either Militia Commander or Ziliax.
I think you just play as safe as possible and play the Ziliax.
Precision.
If you have a near guaranteed clear next turn, you just put yourself in the best position to have the highest life total after that. And you got to attack into something because you don't want to play into silence. There's been a card that Gal's been holding on to.
Oh, it's bad news.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Warrior's going to gain 10 life this turn.
I must consider.
Oh, Divine Spirit. And that's a pretty powerful Plague of Wrath coming in here.
Yeah, Plague of Wrath into Militia Commander. Or into just one of these 1/1s
Yes.
attacking in. And it looks like Gallon is not really going to have a chance here.
Yep. And a lot of things went pretty well for the Prees. They had Cleric on 1. They had Injured Blade Master get revived and even survive the brawl. But despite that, Prees kind of getting shut down here. I am firmly a believer in Eddie's camp. I think Warrior shuts down the Prees. People make believe like this class has absolutely 0 weaknesses. And even if he found the Inner Fire, there was no point in which Gallon would be able to close the game except for that one turn where there wasn't a taunt.
Yeah. Gallon gonna play for some kind of Blansamdi into High Priest of Met scenario. He's seen Plague of Wrath and a Brawl, so there's still a very slim chance.
You have that.
But after seeing 2 more, than that chance effectively goes to 0 because it's unlikely he'll be able to push through a minion. Nalguidan takes game 1. The Warrior Q paying off.
That's right. The strategy is paying huge dividends, and now people who are really dependent on the Protect Priest, Q Priest first, starting to show a little weakness.
Yep.
And I'm all for that. As much as Gallon's my buddy, and I wish success for him, it's a little bit nice to watch a little smackdown come down on what people are complaining about. I see a lot of complaints on Twitter about Priests. Like, you know what? There's people that can complain about it, and there's people that'll do something about it.
Yeah, and Nalguidan saying in the past 2 days, the vast majority of players protect Priest Q at first. And if they're just going to keep doing that and go for that level 1 that Fireback talked about,
obvious.
Punish them.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Nalguidan has an opportunity to close it out 2-0 and prove that he's good or unlucky.
darker than they've ever been. As evil descends from the skies, the world cries out, how will we survive? Out of the hall of explorers, and up from the dusty tombs, they grab their whips and fedoras. These legends of the past know exactly what to do. There might be magic monsters, mummies in the markets, and ancient mysticism. There's surely scorching deserts, adventure, monster of narcissism. High stakes think annihilation, obliteration of civilization. Now is the time to be brave. Evil's come to enslave, but this league's gonna save the world.
My name is Sam Braithwaite, and I'm the Senior Global Franchise Lead for Hearthstone Esports. This event was especially cool because it takes place right after the brand new expansion, Rise of Shadows. Historically in Hearthstone Esports, we do our big events like this towards the end of an expansion cycle, but we really wanted to shake things up and really showcase that not only is the world champion the person who can pilot the best decks, but also the person who, when presented with a brand new game, can put together the best decks leading into the World Championship. Cheers to you guys, the sold-out crowd here for the HCT 2019 World Championship.
Welcome back to 2019 HCT World Championship.
We've had a lot of fun games, and we're looking forward to the grand finals. Showdown. Viper versus Hunter Ace. Only one can be the champion. Oh, come on!
Match be dead.
Wacko pick of this coming out from Hunter Ace.
It's now or never. Arch-villain reform.
Okay! In a completely solved game, Hunter Ace finds a way to maximize his chances. It's been a wonderful journey throughout the past few years of the Hearthstone Championship Tour, where stars were made and dreams came true.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Hearthstone Grandmasters for the Americas. Actually, replying on Twitter to Orange. Orange messaged me and TJ saying that him and his practice group actually did test for the Flight Master, which was summon a Griffin on both sides with the Battle Cry Quest Shaman, and said that there's some inconclusive evidence. Some people were for it, some people were against it. Overall, they felt like it wasn't good enough to bring for this week. That being said, I wonder what could make it good enough. Maybe they didn't go far enough into the tank, TJ.
I don't think they tested it enough.
Yeah.
I'm calling them out.
That's right.
Test it more.
Yeah. Maybe play some more games once in a while. Don't you? Now, of course, also the reason why I'm mentioning it is because some GMs are starting to talk about how they feel like players, or people rather, accuse them of not practicing. But Casey posted a stat tracker of his practice matches with Bunny Hopper where they played 900 games of practice games. 900.
What is this, amateur hour?
The overall record, I kid you not, is 426 wins to 429 losses. Almost 50%.
Wow. It's really impressive, actually. Goes to show, you know, some players are putting in a lot of effort, a lot of time. And I want to see that from everybody.
Or am I reading that wrong? Maybe it was 426 games, but then why would the win rate be different from the actual numbers? Either way, don't have time to actually verify if that's true. I don't think he's played 900. I think he's played half that, 450 games, but still, it's a lot.
All right, Dan. Warrior versus Paladin. A matchup that I think Control Warrior, especially Gallant's, is very much so favorite. Gallant has, oh my goodness, double Eternium Overstart. Well,
all right, so already a difference in ideology than what you might see. So I feel like if Purple was playing this, he would have just hero powered on too.
Yes, but at the same time, you need to make sure that you have board presence to not take chip damage. If he thinks that this Frightened Flunky is going to help him alleviate board pressure in the future in order to gain more armor, then I like it. Like if Nalguidan had played Wild Pyromancer and he had armor up to play Frightened Flunky, he would have taken 3. Now he gets to gain the armor anyway. Now this is...
I think I like the Rusty Recycler, plays on curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now this is
where he deviates.
This is where he deviates in the sense that he just wants to go for board aggression.
Yeah,
he does have a fairly aggressive hand, to be quite honest.
He does, but Warrior, you're not going to kill the Paladin. There's almost no scenario where you kill the Paladin. They have way too much life gain. Even if you get the ideal hand, it's still very difficult because they just save a board clear for the Armageddon, which is your only way to get, or the Armageddon, the post-Armageddon, which is your only way to get there. The double Eternium Overstart might give Gallant some leeway here. But at the same time, if Nalguidan coins and consecrations, his board is clear. And he does gain armor, but he misses that armor up button multiple times. So, and I would trade into the Wild Pyromancer there. I don't think damage matters, and I think you get too heavily punished by the consecration. Having those Eternium Rovers on board is big because it means Nalguidan can never hero power.
Well, it means he can't. It's like him playing things like Blood Mage Thanos and Novice Engineers are liabilities. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I am sure.
Sorry, what I meant is I'm not sure if this is the right line.
Yeah. Well, I am sure that it's not.
Well, I meant I'm not sure if Gallant's play is going to work out for him.
Okay, there you go. I don't know. I played a good amount of this matchup. You do need to block chip damage. That is very important. You need to make sure that you have something on board or something in hand that can contest small, annoying things. You want to make sure that you can block True Silver Champion swings. But at the same time, you want to make sure you're maximizing armor gain. Because when you're playing traditional Control Warrior, your way to win is by getting out of range of their damage, and that's,
even if they have Tyrion, and even if they have True Silver Champions, and
he has weapons projects, he has Harrison Jones, he has checks for everything. Maybe Gallant has tested more of this matchup, and he has found different paths to victory. But whenever I play this matchup, the most success I have is when I armor way out of range of the damage that they have, including Zephyrus. And he's playing kind of the ideal lineup to be able to do that.
Prismatic Lens always a moment where you hold your breath.
Yep.
Because you're not sure if what you end up picking up is a good thing or a potential bad thing here.
Hit the armor up button.
There you go, 43. And I mean, in the end, maybe Gallant's logic is, I will be gaining armor regardless. I want to put on pressure to force his removal so that he can't just draw cards freely. And I think that's also a legitimate overall strategy, as we like to call macro strategy.
Yeah. Okay, so I will say that while you likely won't kill the Paladin with just raw damage, if you force them to make suboptimal plays, that can also net you more armor gain in the future, right?
Yeah, slowing down.
Slowing them down. If you force them to play your game and slow down on their draw, then you dictate how the game progresses, and you have opportunities to gain armor in the late game. He did have a lot of freedom with his opening hand because he had double Eternium Rover. He had shield block in his hand. Now he's drawn Dr. Boom Mad Genius, which I don't like using super early. I like using it as a burst of armor later on in the game.
Interesting. Using a quality in that position. Nalguidan freeing up his hand. He is taking a decent amount of damage. That's going to make things like Soup Vendor a lot better once he gets it. Gallon has the opportunity to our Megadillo and get things in the way, but he does miss up that armor. Dynamatic's also a possibility here, given that he knows that 3-1's kind of dead. And then the last option is to play Super Collider here. I think out of all of them, if Gallon were to follow the tempo line, he'd play our Megadillo after a quality already has been used. Doesn't want to give up the armor. Armor is pretty big, because now he has the hero power Megadillo into the Dr. Boom Mad Genius.
Yep. I don't know if he wants to play our Dr. Boom Mad Genius on 9. The average armor you gain with Dr. Boom Mad Genius over the course of 5 turns is less than what you'd gain, which is the normal hero power.
Gallon has the weapons project.
Pretty crucial, not only for just the burst of armor, but also for the weapon destruction, considering Nalguidan plays double True Super Champion and Zephyrus, which in most times this matchup is Tyrion. So
yeah, if I'm Nalguidan, I think I start chucking Hammer at the face. Yeah, I like this.
Every point of damage that you have goes face, no matter what. You saw him not care about the Restless Mummy last turn. He pushed 1 damage to face instead of taking a good value trade. You need every point of damage that you can possibly get.
Well, our Megadillo puts things in the way of this True Silver Champion.
Yeah.
And buffs your Tomb Wardens now.
Yep. And armor up. I like the armor up instead of the weapons project. Weapons project has even better uses.
Novice, Flash of Light, that draws 2 more cards. Now Nalguidan needs to just start drawing a ton.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's his mind he needs to go for the Bile Pyromancer equality in this position. Not the quality, but the...
What would Uther do?
He saw that our Megadillo activated. It's very likely 2 Mordens since it wasn't a Frightened Flunky generated taunt. And there's 2 Tomb Wardens in the deck, so more likely than any other minion.
Tomb Warden is going to be problematic.
But Nalguidan saying, I have the timeouts to buy myself more time. Pushing the 4 damage with True Silver Champion is worth getting rid of my last removal. He also gets to Stickwall Pyromancer.
Which potentially do chip damage.
Yep.
Crystology, potential big pickup here for Nalguidan.
Still an Acolyte of Pain and I believe a Blood Mage Thalnos?
Yeah, and a Novice, right?
Oh, and a Novice, okay. So there's
A
Acolyte
lot
of
of
Pain and
draws.
Novice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Draw
super
City.
deep in his deck.
I feel like Nalguidan has a real good chance of ending this. I mean, all the draws finally coming into his hand. Before he didn't really have the draw.
Yeah. Now, granted, Gallon does have 13 worth of armor burst over 2 turns. He also has Ziliax. So if you expect you to be comboed, you can Dr. Boom Mad Genius the turn before you're comboed, and then Weapons Project Ziliax the turn after you're comboed to heal back up the health that you gain. You know, that's another 9. So it's a lot of health gain that he has the potential of using. He also could use Ziliax to push aggressively.
So you're not going to play Thanos in this spot? Okay, playing Acolyte. 7 cards in hand. Very likely they picked up Holy Wrath number 2.
Is a potential for an overdraw, an overdraw here. There's a Holy Wrath in his deck.
Yeah, but it pushes the issue significantly. There's, let's see, Zephyr's in the deck. There's Holy Wrath in the deck. Those are probably the 2 most important cards that immediately stand out to me. There's also a True Silver Champion.
I mean, all of those 3 are very good targets.
Yeah, but Gallon doesn't know that those 3 are in the deck. The second timeout, by the way. So that's 1 timeout, 1 True Silver Champion, Zephyrus, and Holy Wrath. And Gallon's gonna burn one of them with his Holy Wrath play, or sorry, with his Warpath play. And I think if Nalguidan could choose one that he wants to burn, probably be True Silver, because Zephyrus is supposed to help him get there anyways.
I actually don't think Gallon can go for that. I don't think he can expedite his combo. I don't think he'll have enough time to gain the armor, that he needs. I honestly think he has to Dr. Boom this turn. This is great recognition from Gallon. You saw him mouse over the Warpath. He came to the conclusion about the same time that I did. If he expedites his combo, he doesn't have... Nalguidan would combo that turn. And he wouldn't have time to play Dr. Boom and Weapons Project Ziliax. So if he realizes that Nalguidan can pretty much get start his combo next turn, he needs to get one of the big armor gains out now, which means that he has to go for it now. Now, this is an opportunity for Nalguidan. He could... Can this work out?
His last 2 cards are Holy Wrath, True Silver Champion, and Timeout, so he only draws 1 spell off this Prismatic.
Okay. I was thinking you use Zephyrus here to try and push damage with, like, Bloodlust. But he can't. It doesn't work out well because he'd have to put 2 minions into each Tomb Warden and just clear off the Tomb Warden.
It would most likely give him, like, a Black Knight opportunity and, like, other things like Shadow Word Death.
Yeah. But this is kind of scary for Gallon.
Yeah. I like that Nalguidan actually held on to this Blood Mage Thanos because I realized he's trying to save it for the 26 point of damage. Trades all around. One thing about it is that if you have no board, I don't know if I agree with this Paladin hero power. Actually, it doesn't really matter for now. The idea is that if Nalguidan has minions on the board, then Ziliax has a target to rush.
Yeah. But with Shirvala, Ziliax is going to have a target to rush no matter what.
You're right.
So that's not too much of an issue. I think Gallon here, he just wants to make sure that he has a mech on board to get maximum healing from Ziliax and to not Weapons Project until afterwards.
Yes, you're
right. Because Nalguidan at this point will likely not have time to play Tyrion
and
swing multiple times because he'll be entering Fatigue. He didn't get it off first. He's going to have to get it off after the combo because he'll likely have to combo next turn.
Okay, then.
So, and Gallon, I don't want to take any damage, so probably both Tomb Wardens into minions. Hero Power the other one. Super Collider to try and push some extra damage in between the weapons projects.
Oh, I love that fuse thing.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what he plays here because likely his Super Collider will be overridden with Weapons Project.
Yep.
I'm out of cards.
So this is the first part of the combo. 43 life with no blast shield. Gallon has the Ziliax Weapons Project.
But that'll only, with just those, that's only 13. Sorry, 9. It would be 14 if he was able to magnetize it on.
Right, but that means he's still alive from the Blood Mage Thanos Holy Wrath, because that only does 26. So Gallon's going to gain 50. He's going to be up to 52 life, and now Gallon has 51 damage.
Yeah, he does have True Silver Champion, and he will clear both these Tomb Wardens with back-to-back.
You're right.
He also has Zephyrus, which can just get, like, Fireball.
Yeah, you equip the Truth Over now, right? No, I guess you have the Holy Wrath now. You don't have enough mana to do that. Use the cheaper one.
But Gallon now gains even more because he gets to magnetize.
Oh, the
Ziliax
magnetize!
And shield block!
The shield block! Big draw here for Gallon.
Now, because he's safe, which is Ziliax shield block, I like Delivery Drone here in saving the Weapons Project.
Yes, to remove the weapon.
To remove the True Server Champion because he'll be plenty safe. He'll go up to 26 with the 2 Mordant swing because he'll gain 8 life from that. And then he'll go up to 31 with the shield block. And then he can save Weapons Project for when Nalguidan inevitably equips the True Server Champion or for the Ashbringer from Tyrion. This is tough, though, because you have to account for every possibility. You have to account for Zephyrus. So you know 25 damage is coming at you.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I mean, Nalguidan knows about the possibility of this. The Weapons Project is what's really crushing.
He wants to remove the 2/2.
Yeah.
Okay. And now he has shield block to follow it up, but he Oh! Oh, this is even smarter because now he protects the Divine Shield on the 2 Mordant. So now Nalguidan would have to attack in with his Weapons Project, take the 8, give him more healing, and he protects the Divine Shield, so then Nalguidan can't use the Shrivala to kill off this 2 Mordant. This is really smart.
If you play... If you play Zephyrus, what's it going to offer you? Tyrion, weapon removal, and Black Knight. So yeah, I'm feeling like this is a very tough situation where Nalguidan feels pretty cornered.
Yeah, I mean, he can't win from this position, it doesn't feel like.
I think he might have to Zephyrus. No, he has to Holy Wrath now. No, I think he needs to Zephyrus remove the 8/5 and start whacking face.
If he Holy Wrath's face now, Zephyrus would likely offer a silence.
Oh, you're right. Oh, so then he should play Holy Wrath first and then Zephyrus.
Because then there's only 1 mana or less remaining.
Or Urshock. It often you...
Or Urshock, yeah, Urshock as well.
I'm out of cards.
Okay, just plays a second Shrivala. Gains a bunch of life.
Oh no, this is way better. This is way better.
But the second copy of Shrivala is what we're forgetting.
That's game.
Yeah, the second copy of Shrivala that he could play immediately for 0 mana.
Oh,
TJ.
yeah. All right. Gallon needs... I thought it was unwinnable for Gallon because of Gallon's setup. But that's game. He set up a way to win because now he has True Server Champion to contest the damage on board.
Yep. And now he has Zephyrus to finish. Yeah, really well done by Nalguidan.
Yeah. And he even has Zephyrus. Like, he held on to Zephyrus. He managed to do it even through Zephyrus.
This would be a good time for
And these are 2 matchups that are supposed to be bad for Nalguidan, right? He had, or rather, Gallon had an advantage going into it with Warrior versus Paladin, and it should be one that goes his way. And in the end, Gallon went for an aggressive line with almost no chance to pressure down the Paladin. But there was a lot of opportunities where he needed more life
and maybe
and more armor.
If you he forced Nalguidan in that position, Nalguidan gave himself a guaranteed win at the end. If Gallon just removes the Shrivala with the 2 Mordant on board, then he has both shield slams in hand the next turn. But then all of his armor goes away. But then he could shield block double
Does
shield
all his
slam.
armor go away?
Yeah, because he had Holy Wrath the next turn. So all of his
right.
and then he shield blocks double shield slams the next turn.
Yeah.
And then he might be in a better position. I don't know. That ending of that game was nuts.
Very tight, contested back and forth, but Nalguidan gets the final laugh. Let's go ahead and check in with him. All right, Nalguidan, you there?
Hi.
I see a big grin on your face. What are you smiling about? What makes you so happy today, huh?
Yeah, winning is always good, especially when they call you out, right?
For sure, yeah. Now let's talk about the fact that yesterday Gown had some words for you. We saw your reply on Twitter, and you're kind of talking about it. Do you want to clarify some of that a little bit for people who didn't get a chance to look at what you were responding to on Twitter?
Sure. So Gallon yesterday said as far as I understand, he didn't say that I'm bad. He should say that my attitude when I lose is not the best. And he's right on that. The thing is, people don't know that even if I say I get unlucky and I get mad and whatever other reason and the meta, blah, 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 I still go back to my games and I still watch my mistakes. I try to improve them. So I don't think that my attitude after losing is holding me to improve.
Fair enough. One thing we say
but
is...
I share his point of view. Like, if you're a competitive player, you should try to improve all the time, even if you think you're unlucky.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed. We say on broadcast, you can complain about it or you can do something about it. Apparently, Nalguidan does both.
You can do both,
He complains about it and he does something about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
Really, really good back and forth there. Game number 1. It seems like the Warrior crushing the Priest. That's a really common thing that's happening today. Was that kind of exactly how you imagined it, going into the Warrior versus Priest and then beating something like OTK Paladin versus Warrior right after?
So the first matchup, I think like after the banning phase, I got a very big advantage. After that, my Warrior was kind of like very good because we had one mirror and then Su and then Priest. And the reason I brought Warrior this week was especially because I saw Eddie and Gallon both had Warlock last week. So I didn't want to be like that susceptible to, to Priest and Su. Warrior it's good in those matchups. I actually touched the Warrior a bit more to be more consistent to Priest because I wasn't too sure like if it's that good versus Priest. But then I added in like more clear, silence, Militian Commander and stuff just to be sure I beat Priestess. And then, second match, I practiced that match yesterday. The Paladin versus Warrior. It's not exactly favored for the Paladin, in my opinion, but you get there a lot of the times. Like, it's not that easy for the... Not just for the Warrior, but for example, for Druid as well, we saw a lot of Paladin versus Druid. It's not that easy to get more than 50 HP in 2 turns like the Paladin does.
Yeah, it seemed really tricky, and he had like a lot of good tools too, because he had the shield block, he had the weapons project, and he had Dr. Boom. But I think you navigated that really well and put up enough pressure just to make it very awkward for him. So well done. TJ, any final question for Nalguidan?
No, man. Just congratulations. I like seeing these kinds of stakes in matches.
It's
not
fun,
just a
right?
one match.
It's fun.
It's really fun.
Yeah. Now it's your turn, Nalguidan. Who do you want to call out?
Wait, who do you know who you play next week?
I'm playing. I think my last match of the first round is Purple, if I'm not wrong.
Ooh.
All right, Purple. Any words for Purple
any
next
words
week?
for Purple?
Not really. I'm not a guy that say things. I don't know.
Okay.
Nalguidan's is a nice guy.
We don't want to force it anyway.
Yeah,
well, we do, but if you don't want to force it.
We're glad to receive it. We're basically a priest sitting at the confessional. Anytime you want to come to us to complain about players, we're here. Congratulations, Nalguidan. You're firmly in first place in Division A. Well, good luck next week.
I would like to add something that because in the last days we've been hearing a lot from everyone that Americas is playing bad and stuff. Even I see EU players in the chat come here and say that we are bad, but I would like to add that this is a very hard meta to play. There are a lot of matchups that are hard, and if you go back to watch the EU matches, there are a lot of mistakes as well, or better plays to do. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know. It's not. You definitely know now. Tell him.
So
tell him like it is.
He's not talking about.
That's right.
He's not talking about his match next week. He's talking about his match in a few months
That's
when he
right.
gets to the global
At
finals.
the global finals.
And fights against Europe.
That's right. Nalguidan just played Holy Wrath on EU Grandmasters for 25.
There
Woo!
we go.
Let's go, Nalguidan. All right. That's a great way to wrap up the interview. Thank you so much, and we'll see you back next week. I'm pumped.
Thank you.
Let's